Like you ideally want to all set up in like decent positions. So normally what we used to do is like we would play one blue window. Like this is if the other team has a snipe green elbow set up. We'd go one blue window. One guy would sit blue in here and keep off top tree and like just sort of react to callouts. Just play around gauge jump. You'd have one guy around top gold shooting towards S2 and then going out towards like camo. And the last guy was kind of floating. Like you could do it, I don't know, a lot of the time we used to do like two blue window. Like you'd set like one guy deep like this and the other guy kind of sits back and like shoots green or shoots window. But basically what you're waiting for is, it's kind of hard to explain. You just need an advantage. If I'm the guy at camo and I get like free damage off, if I get a good nade and like hit him, that's like, I would be the one, I'll be like, alright, we can push. And literally as soon as you call you can push, you all have to commit. So if one person sits back, your push won't work. You literally have to go over top mid. When you go top mid, I usually play like around these walls so you can angle things off. This is like a really strong spot. Um, just get like damage off, especially if you can like put pressure on the ball before he drops it. It usually puts them in like panic. Whoever's at blue, like your number one job is literally don't let him get S3. That's pretty much the Guardian Ball in a nutshell. It's just like just go over the top, wait for an advantage. As soon as you have an advantage, all four of you need to go. And if you all four go over top mid, you'll outnumber them every time because they're always got a ball guy. So you basically get over and get free damage on the ball. Biggest mistake most people make is they go S3 and try and shoot in gold, and there's literally no reason to. The only thing you need to be concerned about is blue. So if I'm sitting snipe, I'm literally just shooting him and just watching for nades. Usually we sit a guy like back here and he watches blue. Because like the only time they can push is if they get you weak. So you can literally sit back and bait them into pushing while you're all full shields. So usually like sitting here, watching like blue. Then we have a guy would sit like top elbow. This is usually ball guy. Top elbow is really good because you can ideally you like kind of move up and down. As soon as the other team does a top mid push, you like drop it and you come up and you can shoot camo and top gold really easy. And it's like you can kind of fuck teams up pretty easy. Usually sit a guy like bottom tree. And the last guy kind of floats. Normally, I don't know, when I used to play like ages ago, we didn't like pushing a guy to camo. We used to always sit like one guy like S2, S1 like this. Like shooting bottom mid, because it's just, when you put the thing is like, if you put a guy at camo, their bottom mid starts to like actually do something. Whereas if you have a guy playing like this, S1, S2, and you've got a guy bottom green, they literally get stuck bottom mid and it's free kills. And as soon as you get a kill, it's really hard for them to push. So it's like, there, 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 and green. And there's just like, you just got to learn how to play your positions well. Like this guy, like, you know, you don't want to sit like top green because you're going to get naded. You don't want to sit like here and challenge and get weak because then they can push over. It's like kind of, I don't know, it kind of comes with feel. Like, I've got like a few little like positions I move to depending on what the other team's doing. So like, if I feel like they're going to push and that I can't stop them coming blue, I'll usually drop here. And you literally just try and get shots on the guys like jumping across gold or camo. So you can like get 2 shots on them for free. You can kind of shut down a push. I actually prefer to set up in blue and gold, but no one does it. Pretty much, ball sits here, watches bottom mid, helps with top green, helps with camo, can drop and shoot bottom. It's really hard to die. Like, biggest thing is like when you back off, don't just back off into this corner because every man and their dog will literally just nade that wall and it'll just bounce in and pawn you. Just like learn where people nade. You can sit back here and you're safe pretty much from everything. Blue window His biggest job is not standing out here and letting people come S3 and like just nade jumping out at him. So like you have to play this pretty safe, like you play this all the way back here. Thing is, if you see a guy top mid, don't feel like you have to kill him. Like keep in mind they're the ones pushing, right? So you don't need to like come out all the way out to blue window to kill this guy that's milking just here because he's getting spam called out. Like he's kind of fucked. The only way he gets out of that is if you fuck up and pull out yourself out of position. Obviously, if you're getting kills and he's like the last guy or two guys alive, you can push out and kill him. But yeah, blue window, ball guy, guy floating between like here, and camo guy floating between bottom green and top mid. You can get really good shots like this. And it's literally like when you're in a setup, you're not trying to... The worst thing you can do is shoot someone that's shooting back at you in like a standoff. Like you don't want to shoot a guy and challenge down to one shot bottom green because you're going to go hide here and you're pretty much banking on the fact that like one of them's not going to like nade you, like pop a nade in here and kill you. And it's just stupid. You want to make them push angles and then you basically, when they start pushing top mid, you just like stand out here. I mean, there's a difference as well. Like from standing here, you can shoot them pushing across top green. It's a lot better than coming out here and shooting them across top green. It's just little things like learn how to play your loss when you're in like a setup. Just make it really hard to take damage and just take any free damage you see. So like shoot them when they're not shooting at you, basically. That's pretty much it. It's like some situations where like we just will lift blue, especially if like we get if we're spawning. So if I'm spawning bottom blue and like there's kills on the kill feed, like I'm just gonna lift. Pretty much same again, like heaps of teams, a lot of teams will try and blue lift spam. Like they'll send two guys to lift and the other two will push like top gold and top blue. Same thing, like when you got the ball, just look for it. If you're not seeing anyone at gold, if you don't see anyone, just expect it, come down here and just light them up. The guys that snipe, the biggest thing like people fuck up on is they'll stand here and like challenge these guys when there's like two of them, or like they'll come out and challenge and kind of shoot them when they're coming up, or they'll sit here, they'll sit in the spots that everyone nades. It's literally just like don't try and take damage. That's all you got to think about when you're in a setup. Don't take damage and do as much as you can without getting hurt. So like, you shoot these guys. If they start lifting, as an example, I would come out and play like here, or I would go like elbow and we would just spam nade there while the team lights them up. Because the only way they get out of that is like hitting you with a nade. If you come down here, you think about it from like the other point of view, right? So imagine you're like coming out and you're lifting. If these nades do nothing and you're here one shot, you either go S3 and like you can get cleaned up from a few angles, you start getting spam naded. And if you don't see anyone here or they're pushing you, they're full shields, your nades didn't hit them, you're kind of fucked either way. They're literally just trying to bait you in. The only time, like, if you're the team pushing, that's when you want people to challenge you, right? Because you want to, like, pull them out. Like, the worst thing you can do, like, and the worst feeling is, like, you push top mid and you start getting shot on the side. Like, that's the worst feeling. It's so much better if, like, I'm blue window and we're getting kills and I see a guy top green challenging me. Like, I'll just hold forward at him. Because it's like, well, at worst, I'm going to die and get you absolute, and hopefully a teammate will kill you up, and it's basically a trade. And like, taking trades when the other team's in a setup is really good, because the less people on the map, the easier the game is, right?